Yahawah, He hear what I pray. Cause I know I could die any day. Teach Yahawah, just show me the way. Tryna walk down the path that you laid. Tired of sinning cause I ain't the God.
For one, and I hope you hear this, you're describing a world that doesn't exist. We as in the world, yeah, meaning, hold on. See, you said that you were going to let me speak. If you cut me off, you're not going to really truly get a response. The way you're describing it, there should be no evil on the earth. There is evil on the earth, and the Most High created all things. So the Most High is responsible for good, and the Most High is responsible for evil. It seems your position is saying, why would the Most High do that? That's what we're going to try to get for you. Sirach 33 and 10.
The book of Sirach 33 and 10. And all men are from the ground, and Adam was created of earth. In much knowledge the Lord hath divided them.
In much knowledge the Most High divided them.
And made their ways diverse.
And made their ways diverse.
Some of them hath he blessed and exalted, and some of them hath he sanctified, and set near himself. But some of them hath he cursed, and brought low, and turned out of their places. As the clay is in the potter's hand to fashion it his pleasure, so man is in the hand of him that made him.
As clay as in the potter's hands to fashion it in the way that he wants. So the Bible doesn't record. That's why, see, the reason why we do it this way is because we want the Bible to establish what's right and wrong. We're all just human, so we want the Bible to establish. This tells us why the Most High creates things the way he does. Can you say that verse over again from the top, bro?
Okay.
It's a lot more on that, though. The main point is still to come.
Because God gave us free will. We are allowed to make our own decisions and reap the consequences of those decisions. So you're saying that God gave us free will to still make evil actions. So you're saying, like, so you're saying that, like, essentially free will doesn't matter at all because God created good in it.
How is that saying that free will doesn't matter?
Because if there's bad in this earth and God is like equally responsible for it, what's the point of giving us free will if there's going to only be more bad things that come from it?
I'm not really understanding how you correlate those.
I'm confused.
But then what she's asking is, if we have the free will to make choice, why would God create good and evil, although he gives us the free will to do and choose whatever we want to choose? Yeah. That's a question. Can I answer?
Yeah, I think it's going to really get into this. Let's just let him finish this because it gives the understanding that's better than mine. Can you start from the verse again, brother?
Okay. Sirach chapter 33, verse 13. As the clay is in the potter's hand to fashion it at his pleasure, so man is in the hand of him that made him, to render to them as he liketh him best.
Let's stop. Quick. Let me answer. Again, we're going out of context again. Because that's
you're not even letting it finish.
No. I know the scripture by heart.
What is the next?
No. Listen. What you get out of it is you're talking about a standpoint of human creation. We can equate Satan to human creation because you're talking about two different beings. Satan is the spiritual realm. Now you're talking about the human, how we come about to be human. So it's two different things. I don't think this will get. Yes.
So you said those two different things. What two different things?
Because Satan is a spiritual being, right?
You said Satan?
Satan.
Okay.
Satan is a spiritual being.
Okay.
You agree with that?
Okay, yeah, I'm with you on that.
And we are physical being, right?
Okay, I'm with you on that.
Okay. So now the scripture he's quoting is about how we came about to be human, how we were formed.
Okay.
And so he's using how God used the clay, the dirt, So
right.
that's two different.
I understand what you're saying.
So this scripture,
your point is, we are man, but Satan is spirit.
Yeah, it's a spirit, like
so
that.
What he's saying is, what you're using to get him to understand that he can't receive that because Satan is a spirit and he is human. He is human. Is what he said.
Yes, and God is talking about me. How
Unfortunately, this is what I fear because men are talking more than the Bible are. Let's read this verse, brother.
1 Peter chapter 4 and verse 11.
Bring it out.
If any man speak, let him speak as the oracles of God.
Say it again, brother.
If any man speak, let him speak as the oracles of God. If any man minister, let him do it as of the ability which God giveth, that God in all things may be glorified through Jesus Christ, to whom be praise and dominion forever and ever.
What we're going to start turning into is men arguing against men. We want to give the understanding, because if I can be honest with you, brother,
No, you know,
if I can be honest with
I'm
you,
going to ask you a more
you did-
personal. I'm going to ask
No,
you a
no,
more
no,
personal
but
question.
I'm telling you,
I'm gonna say what he is saying is correct, which is why we have the problem that we have. Okay, everybody wants to be right.
exactly.
I don't want to be right.
No, you do.
I don't want to be right.
No, you do.
Hold on. See, we're doing it again.
See, we
We're-
just the fact.
I'm seeking understanding.
No, well, brother, when you seek understanding,
No, I'm
Hold
seeking
on.
understanding.
brother,
I don't
when
wanna
you
be
seek
right.
understanding, you let the word
I
come
don't want to
out.
be right.
Like you addressed the point about clay, and that's not the point that this story is getting at. So, like I said, you needed to let the verse continue before you give a response. I hope that's fair. Can you keep going, bro?
It's the book of Sirach, chapter 33, verse 14.
Bring it out.
Good is set against evil.
That's the part we were trying to get you to understand. Good is set against evil. Say it again, brother.
Good is set against evil, and life against death. So is the godly against the sinner, and the sinner against the godly. So look upon all the works of the Most High, and there are two, and one against another.
So it is the Most High. It is the Most High who has created good and has created evil on the earth. One thing that the Most High said that he does is tries us in the furnace like gold. If you don't have any adversity, which is what we said Satan means in the Hebrew. Satan literally just means adversary in the Hebrew. If the adversary doesn't exist, you have nothing to overcome. A person is not good because they don't have the choice to do evil. Evil has to exist so that they can prove that they are good.
You know, I really applaud you guys for what you're doing. I really like that. And honestly, I stopped by because I see this, because I take this personal. I really take this personal.
You gotta be from somewhere over here.
Oh yeah, you're right.
For you to take it personal,
No, I take it personal.
you have to be somewhere.
Slave trade,
For him to take
slave
it
trade.
personal.
Right?
It's like I don't have a word to describe what this slave trade has done to us
Right.
as people. And there got to be an understanding why man is so evil to come to that point. And I'm trying to understand that. You know, the whole discourse about who's right, who's not right in the Bible, I really don't think, from what I understood, like you said, everybody wants to be right, right?
Everybody wants to be right.
Guess what? I don't want to be right. I'm seeking understanding. And this is what really grabbed my attention, because I wanted to kind of like understand the purpose of what you're doing in connection with this. That's what I was trying to understand. Because that's basically everything else, we can debate on, but this I think we can find a common ground for me to be enlightened and understand exactly.
So
Can we get Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 15?
So what's happening is what you asked. What's happening is
Oh, he got it. Oh, can you repeat the question for him? The question I asked. Can you repeat it for
We
him?
want to know what this has to do with what we're doing.
What you're doing? Yes.
who wants to know?
I want to know.
Oh, and you already answered your own question.
No.
Can we get Sirach chapter 6 and verse 32?
I want to know because I
They're
don't
going to
know.
answer your question first, and then they're going to answer.
Absolutely. Yeah. You got Sirach 6 and 32, young brother? Let's get it out.
Listen to this.
Sirach chapter 6 and verse 32. My son, if thou wilt, thou shalt be taught.
If thou wilt, thou shalt be taught.
And if thou wilt apply thy mind, thou shalt be prudent.
If you apply your mind, you shall be prudent.
If thou love to hear,
If thou love to what, young brother?
if thou love to hear, thou shalt receive understanding.
You said you want to receive understanding. The word says you have to love to hear. Notice I'm not telling you my own understanding. We're giving you what the word says. Keep going, young brother.
And if thou bow thine ear, thou shalt be wise.
If you bow your ear, you shall be wise. So we just want to make that point that the person that receives the understanding is first able to listen and get it. Okay, let's get what you had in Deuteronomy 20. That's all. We just wanted to make that.
I think I'm opening the door, right?
We just want to make sure it's the word that's teaching us. Deuteronomy 28 and 15.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 15.
Bring it out.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
The Most High made a covenant with the children of Israel after Moses delivered them out of Egypt. This is a part of that covenant, saying that if they kept his commandments, they would be blessed. If they did not keep his commandments, they would be cursed, as the scripture said. Let's go to Deuteronomy 28 and 48. This is the same chapter. This is going into some of those curses that the Israelites are going to go through if they don't keep the Most High's commandments.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 48.
Bring it out.
Therefore shalt thou serve thy enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee.
Notice, I'm not trying to get back on the first point, but notice the Most High said, which the Lord shall send against thee. So again, even these things are of the Most High. I'm sorry, what is that? You said, what is he against? Again, yeah, 15, go back to 15.
So,
this is going into the covenant. You do understand that Moses came and delivered the children of Israel out of Egypt? They were slaves in Egypt. And the Most High had Moses go and tell Pharaoh, let my people go. And he delivered them into the wilderness. This is the covenant that was made with the children of Israel in the wilderness. That covenant was going over blessings that they received if they keep the covenant, and curses they will receive if they disobeyed the covenant. That's why we read verse 15. We're going to get that one more time. We're almost there, but we got to give you the basis for why things like this would even happen before we tell you. Remember what we're giving you. The children of Israel were slaves in Egypt. Do you agree with that? They were slaves under Pharaoh. That's why Moses had to go into Egypt and say, let my people go. Our brother here rightly said that the children of Israel were slaves in Babylon, they were slaves in Persia, they were slaves in Greece, and they were slaves in Rome. I'm going to give you the spoiler right now. The reason why this is here is because the real children of Israel are still in the land of their captivity. God's word is so true that whoever the children of Israel are, they still have to be in the land of their captivity until they come right and make the covenant and keep the commandments of God.
Are descendants of are not descendants of any of the countries just like where they're gonna get this like Greece, I believe they're racially white under the U.S. Census, I'm not sure. But all these people right here are African American blacks from the Caribbean, the part of Africa, and there are Hispanics. A lot of these Hispanics wouldn't be here if slavery was slavery. If the conquistadors from Spain and
yeah, I think you missed my point. I'm saying that exact thing.
If they hadn't gone all the way from these people would not be here had slavery never happened.
Exactly.
I'm not understanding.
It's God's will for slavery to happen to these people. Like, because if the white people from Europe did not come all the way to North and South America and unfortunately raped a lot of Native Americans, we would not have as many Hispanic people today as we have now. So how does this correlate to Greece and all the other areas you listed if those are ethnically white countries and these are non-white people?
I think you're not really hearing me. I'm telling you that they were slaves in these countries. So Greece does not apply to this. This applies to the people that were slaves in Greece. Rome does not apply to this. This applies to the people that were slaves in Rome. And what you're going to learn is that America doesn't apply to this. This is talking about the people that were brought here as slaves in America. That's why we're first going to you the covenant. Part of the covenant is that if Israel disobeys the commandments of God, these are the things that are going to happen to them. Let's get that one more time, brother. Verse 15.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 15.
Bring it out.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So when you're saying, I understand and what I'm saying, I'm not saying these things. The Most High God is saying that if the children of Israel do not keep his commandments, that all these curses are going to come upon them. Now we're going to read to you some of the curses. Verse 48, brother.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 48.
Bring it out.
Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies,
The children of Israel are going to be serving their enemies.
which the Lord shall send against thee,
The Lord shall send against thee
in hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck,
He shall do what?
and he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck.
Can we turn this around, bro? Oh, Salah. We got a few that we can show. If you can see this, and I'm sure you know this, brother, because it seems like you're familiar with the slave trade. That curse right there fits only a few people on the earth. Not everybody served their enemies in a land that was not theirs and had yokes of iron put on their neck. Let's also read verse 68, the last one, brother.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
See, they came out of Egypt. If you go into the Hebrew, the word Egypt just means Mizraim, going into slavery or bondage. So
You make a point, and I was thinking about it, and I want to interject something. So, what about the remnant, the rest of the African, of those countries that stay over there,
right,
and they were enslaved in their own land? What about them?
they're included, brother. They're included.
That's a whole nother
Because it's something that you mentioned. Like, for example, some of our Hispanic brothers were slaves. But that doesn't mean that they went the same route that we did. I'm more so answering his question just to show that slavery didn't just happen to African Americans. Some of us were led into other parts of the world. Some of us stayed in the continent where we were led away as slaves.
Ethiopia.
I think it's clear Ethiopia and
They
Kenya.
never went.
Some of these people never went through slavery, so does that apply to them, or are they not?
Ethiopia never.
Yeah, I think Ethiopia was never enslaved by the white man, so do they apply to this?
What is this?
If they don't fit these curses, they're not the children of Israel. What we're identifying is who the children of Israel are.
Ethiopia is not part of
Or
them
African.
because they've never been enslaved.
Ethiopians are not known for being the children of Israel. Ethiopians are known for being sons of Cush, which is his father was Ham. So they were what you consider Hamites. They're not Israelites. Israelites descend from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So, can they be saved? Well, we want to make sure we get to this last point so we can get this point under wraps, and then we'll get into different ones. Verse 68 may be very telling about who the children of Israel are.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 68.
Bring it out.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
So whoever the children of Israel are going to be brought into slavery again with ships.
By the way thereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold into,
And there you shall be what, brother?
and there you shall be sold into your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you.
So a part of this curses is slavery. The Most High telling you that if you forsake him, that you are going to be delivered into the hands of your enemies. And you're going to go into slavery on slave ships. And you're going to be bought and sold. And when you get there, you're not going to be able to get out of that situation unless you come back and complete the covenant and be obedient unto the Most High. So the reason why this sign exists, for your point, is because we're teaching our people the truth of what the Bible says, that the so-called blacks, a lot of our Hispanics and Native Americans actually fit the prophecies of the children of Israel.
So now, let me ask you another question.
I hope that answered you, because that was...
Are we still in slavery?
Yes.
We're still Africans.
Think about
Yes.
In what
I can
sense?
see that in a sense, like when people ask you what
No,
kind
let
of
me
field
ask
do
you,
you
in what
live
sense?
Is that directly correlated
In
to
what
slavery?
sense?
Well, can we get Deuteronomy chapter 28 and I want to say verse 48? Can you get Hosea chapter 4 and verse 6?
you have to ask yourself, every country that you know has their own government, they have their own money, they have their own economy, their own everything. But when he talks about the people that's on this sign right here, you don't have your own anything. You are under someone else's government using their money with their economy and
What about
their
Haiti?
Haiti?
Yes,
Haiti as well.
Haiti doesn't have their own money. They don't have their own.
They have their own money.
No. It's not your turn. Stop it.
Why
Slow
not?
down.
Why not?
Thank you. You
Hold on.
you know that money is not yours. You know that they took over you. You fought out of it for a short period of time, and they came back and got you again. Stop. Haiti does not.
Okay, no, okay.
Okay,
So
hold on.
now we come to man.
Stop.
Now you come to man.
Stop.
No. You can tell. No, you can tell.
Stop.
No. Don't pretend you know
Haiti
more
is-
about my story,
if
my
Haiti-
history than me.
Hold on,
I'm
if
Haitian.
Haiti-
Come on. Don't do that to me.
Hold on.
Don't do that to me. Now let's talk now.
Slow down.
Okay.
If Haiti runs Haiti,
Okay.
then you are saying that it is the Haitians that's the Haitians' only problem.
Yes.
That's what you're saying. You say you're
All right, let's
good
stop.
and no one ever.
Now let's stop.
and-
Now let's stop here.
Yeah, I know it.
Let's stop here.
I know it.
Now let's stop here.
I know it.
Tell me.
I know
Let me
what's
talk.
going on.
Let me talk. I'm your father. Let me talk. Let me talk.
You want to protect the French now.
Now, let's talk about Haiti. And I wrote a book, and I'm so scared to publish it about Haiti. Being cursed. Haiti is a cursed country. It's cursed. Because Haiti, I'm not saying that because I'm Haitian. I'm saying it because I know, I'm convinced it's the truth. That's the only nation that was into slavery that went and said, you know what? Today, I'm done.
Yes.
I'm done. I'm done. And now you get my Haitian out of me right now. I'm done. I'll do whatever it takes. I will never be slave. Never. In this country you see in trouble, regardless what they do, this country will always be free. Because I know every single Haitian is willing to die for this. This land, we will not sell it. We will not sell it. This land is ours.
And we don't
Until they
disagree.
can exterminate every single one of us.
And we
This
don't-
land is ours.
We don't disagree with that, but what we want to do is always make sure that we are answering the questions at hand. Your first question was, what does this sign mean in accordance with
So,
what we're teaching?
Basically, the Haitians would not fit that narrative because I invite you to go to Haiti and experience what freedom means to Haitians.
Well, see, if you remember something that I read, sir,
we agree.
you said
We
that you-
ugly, we agree. Everything we agree. But free, my friend, no.
No,
Don't you ever mention that word to a Haitian.
mention what word?
Because we will die. Like slavery, we're done with this thing. We're done.
I hope you see the reason why I first brought
We're
out
done.
Sirach chapter
We're
6.
done with slavery.
You remember what that book
we
said
did?
that a
We
person
reckon-
who wants the
we
understanding is
reckon-
going to do?
Let me tell you. We reckon with ourselves. We make sure that we kill every single motherfucker that went to that land and put us under their bondage. So now, you know what? They can do whatever they want. But this land will always be free. That's it.
I have a question.
But one thing we're doing is we're getting away from the
And
topic
so
at
that's
hand.
why we cursed.
Brother,
So
you
now-
have to let somebody else speak. Remember what we
No,
read?
no, because
That you said that you wanted to understand them, but you can't humble
Yeah.
yourself so that you can be quiet so that you can receive it. We're answering your
No, when
question.
you say Haiti doesn't have its own currency, I don't. So here they don't have their own currency here. What is the currency of this country?
Okay.
The dollar. So what is good?
What is Haitian good?
What
This is
good?
Haitian good that you don't get. This is come from Haiti. This is natural resources of Haiti, and you don't get it because someone else, your enemy comes and takes it from you,
You're
and
good.
now you will eat mud pies over there, and you pretend that you're free. And
Oh no,
you're
we're free. We don't care.
See?
I told you already.
See?
We don't care. We
See?
can
You
eat
don't
whatever.
care that you're
We don't
free.
care.
More so
We're
than
not
anything,
slaves.
who are we talking about right now?
We're
Did
not
y'all?
slaves.
did-
We're not slaves. How can we slave? We're not slaves.
well,
Go
see,
to Haiti.
I noticed we're getting away from the very point that you even wanted to establish, which was why did we create this sign? We're not trying to talk about us, we're trying to talk about God. And that's why we're telling you that the children of Israel fit the curses outlined about being in slavery. That's the reason why this sign exists, is because we teach our people who the true children of Israel actually are.
So you're saying we're on the east
What is Middle East? Where did that name come from?
Well, it came from the white man, obviously. They named
So
God.
that kind of answers your question.
Yeah,
We wouldn't
but
be Middle Eastern.
That's what they identify as, unfortunately. So you're saying that we all come from Israel. That's all we come from.
If you are these people that fit the curses that we read, Deuteronomy 28 and 15 all the way through 68 are going to give you the curses that Israel are going to go
So if I
through.
take the DNA test, I'm going to likely have Israel in my...
Hopefully the word is good enough, because how do you rely on DNA? It's like you're putting something above the Most High in His word. No, what again?
So you don't
I
believe
feel
in
like we're
science?
all combative.
So you don't believe in science?
Notice how much I listen to you guys. But
It's very evident in the Bible. It's evident in Job and Genesis. It's evident in a lot of
The Bible is very scientific.
can we read Titus 3 and 10? Can you get 1 Timothy chapter 1 and verse 4?
So if I'm using the logic of that, if I do take a DNA test, because DNA is created by God. Without DNA, none of this stuff would exist.
Can you read that in a Bible verse? Because I'm getting him to show something that's contrary to that.
The Bible was written thousands of years before science came in. But the Bible also correlates to science very easily. If you read the book of Job, it talks about the water. It talks about the water cycle. If you read the book of Genesis,
You won't find microphone in the Bible.
What does that have to do with us proving who we are through DNA?
So that means that's science. So how come you don't believe in science?
It's not that nobody believes in science.
Once you brought up
Science,
science, you guys don't.
Let's get that verse, brother.
What we're saying is you're choosing to talk about DNA that you can't read.
That's science.
Hold on. You're talking about something you can't read and you don't know if you looked at it. You don't know that. So what you do, let me
There's
finish.
so many things
Allow me
that-
to finish. Allow me to finish. What you do is you go to your enemy and you ask them, hey, tell me what I have, and then you have to rely on what they tell you.
Look.
Let me finish. We took blood from a German Shepherd dog to your DNA testers who check my DNA and tell me German Shepherd dog blood, and they didn't know it was German Shepherd blood. They brought it back and said, "Oh, you're Native American." You believe in your enemy and what he says is science, as opposed to what really is science. I'm going down.
No. What you just said.
No. I'm going.
Honestly, hey, we gotta calm down. There's too many side conversations, and I'm going to tell you all that you can go ahead.
You have evidence of that?
I got it.
Brother, we want the Bible to be read. Let's get Titus 3 and 10.
Titus chapter 3
Hold on.
verse 10.
I'm more interested in this.
A man that is a heretic after the
3 and 9, brother Salaki.
Titus chapter 3 and verse 9.
Bring it out.
But avoid foolish questions and genealogies.
Avoid what, brother?
Avoid foolish questions and genealogies and connotations and strivings about the law, for they are unprofitable and vain.
They are
So
unprofitable.
what's the point of all of this? This is all genealogy.
No, this is not genealogy.
Are you serious, brother? Are you serious, brother? You just talk about Haitians and you said no, it's not genealogy.
You would not know that he's the Messiah. Like, he's connected to all those people, and without the Jews writing all those scrolls so they could find out.
Sure. No, that's
What this is telling you is for you to avoid genealogy,
let me tell you-
because you would not be able to go and track.
Let me tell you.
There's a lot of cutting each other off. That's why.
No, we're gonna leave.
See, everybody wants to talk so
We're
bad.
gonna-
That's fine, but if you're gonna leave, you can leave in
No,
quiet.
I'm just asking you.
Because you've been talking.
I'm just making a statement.
Brother, you know we're recording this, and I'm going to put this on YouTube, and the world is going to see that you spent 80% of the time talking, yet you came here saying that you were seeking understanding. So if you're seeking understanding, humble yourself and be quiet so that you can receive it. You know, like I said, that brother at a surface level, and unfortunately him and his daughter, what they lacked was humility. You know, it's no secret that Yahawah said that, you know, the greatest in the kingdom of heaven are that little child, and he described one of the attributes of them as being humble. You know, we tested the brother multiple times to be like, hey brother, you said you was here for understanding, right? Act like it. But if you spend your whole time talking and professing what you know and how you feel, that's the reason why the conversation is going left field. And, you know, we can be better, and it's even us. We can be better at making sure that they don't get out of that bubble. Because sometimes if we dive into what they want to dive into, we may be stepping on a trap that leads them to continue in that way. And it would be mightier to make them stay in one point, because it's almost like they're not ready for us to even dive into the argument that they even think we ought to have with them. No, you need to stay back here and finish what we're saying about being humble. Brother, did you really come here to seek understanding? And if so, let's start there and let's hammer that in. Because if we don't hammer that in, it's like my brother Naquan say all the time, you can't build on a faulty foundation. I can't build into your other argument if I haven't first established humility in you. You ain't gonna hear anything I'm saying. And unfortunately, it feels like that's where that conversation went. You know, because this brother couldn't even hear the first principles we brought out. We brought out 1 Peter 4 and 11. We brought out Sirach 6 and 32. But because the brother and unfortunately his daughter couldn't hear the first principles, none of the other stuff that we tried to build on top of that could stand, because those first things weren't built. Can we get what you got, young brother? Proverbs 16 and 6?
16 and 16.
6 and 16. Salaka, young brother.
Proverbs chapter 6 and verse 16.
Bring it out.
These 6 things doth the Lord hate. These 7 are an abomination unto
These
him.
things the Lord's hate and an abomination unto him.
A proud look,
That first thing is a proud look. Keep going, young brother.
a lying tongue,
A lying
and
tongue
hands that shed innocent blood.
and hands that shed innocent blood. Can we also, because I just want to keep going, brother, can we go to Proverbs 16 and 1? Again, a lot of times if the people don't have the basics of what they need, it's always going to be difficult to build more things unto them. And sometimes that humility even goes with a fear of the Most High. The reason why you can't humble yourself in the sight of the word coming out is because you don't truly have a fear of the Most High. And that's one thing that you even brought up, brother, about the reason why we speak the way we do is because I feel like the Most High gonna kill me if I don't. I'm gonna just be real. It ain't about you, brother. It ain't about you, sister. It's about if I don't do this. If I don't do this, as if I truly fear the Most High in what I speak, then I'm going to have to deal with that judgment. Can we get what you got, young brother? Proverbs 16. Let's start at verse 1.
Proverbs chapter 16 and verse 1.
Bring it out.
The preparations of the heart in man, and the answer of the tongue is from the Lord. All the ways of man are clean in his own eyes, but the Lord weigheth the spirit.
Okay, Khan. All the ways of a man are clean in his own eyes, but the Most High is going to weigh the spirits. Keep going, young brother.
Commit thy works unto the Lord, and thy thoughts shall be established.
See, and that's mighty. Commit thy works before the Lord, and thy thoughts should be established. Keep going, young brother.
The Lord had made all things for himself, ye even the wicked for the day of evil.
Keep going.
Everyone that is proud in heart is
Say that again, young brother.
everyone that is proud in heart.
No, just some people.
Everyone that is proud in heart is an abomination to the Lord.
See, a lot of times we speak about abominations like pork and like shrimp, crab, and lobster, and obviously those are abominable foods. But Most High forbid we're walking around with a prideful heart. And again, that's one thing that our brother and sister was struggling from. And Most High willing, sometimes we may be. You know, this is not something that I'm just pointing the finger at different people that come up, because I guarantee you that pride is a demon that all of us have to battle with at different times. But to understand that say it again, young brother, from that verse again.
Everyone that is proud in heart is an abomination to the Lord. Thou, hand joined in hand, he shall not be unpunished.
And he shall not be unpunished. So again, the foundation of what that brother and that sister was struggling with is having a proud heart and not being able to humble themselves in the sight of the word, and also perhaps having not truly a fear of the Most High. And that's going to go into what you're saying, brother. Sirach chapter 1 and verse 28.
Ecclesiastes chapter 1 and verse 28.
Bring it out.
Distrust not the fear of the Lord when thou art poor, and come not unto him with a double heart. Be not an hypocrite in the sight of men, and take good heed what thou speakest.
And do what, brother?
And take good heed what thou speakest.
Why should we do that?
Exalt not thyself, lest thou fall, and bring dishonor upon thy soul. And so God discover thy secrets, and cast thee down in the midst of the congregation, because thou comest not in truth to the fear of the Lord.
And come not in truth to what, brother?
To the fear of the Lord, but thy heart is full of deceit.
But thy heart is full of deceit. So again, that's why I was trying to stick on the point of brother, you say you're here to understand. I just want you to mean what you're professing out of your own mouth. You know, we can stick right there, and sometimes that's what you have to do to a lot of people. You know, that, like I said, like the brother Naquan said so many times, you know, it's somewhat difficult to build on a foundation if that foundation hasn't been established yet. Brother, you don't have any humility, and you have a pride spirit on you, and it seems like you also may be lacking in your fear of the Most High. If I can't get you to overcome those boundaries, then chances are I'm not going to be able to build on even higher foundations that's going to get you the understanding. And that was a good example of that. I mean, just notice this. You can see, I don't know if brothers can see it so clearly, but, you know, brothers been out here for a while. Look how easy it is to talk with somebody if they just have humility. They can be ignorant as hell. I'm just be like, they can know nothing from nothing, but if they're humble, that conversation is always way more pleasant. It's much more edifying for both people sometimes.
Even if they disagree.
And even if they disagree. But imagine them lacking humility. It don't matter how smart they are, how smart you are, it's always ran, because that first foundational thing is missing. So, you know, Yahawah was right in his wisdom. How you doing, brother? Do you believe in God, brother? Can we give you a Bible verse before you go, brother? Just one? All right, brother. All praises. Yeah. So, you know, sometimes it's no secret that people like that aren't able to receive the knowledge and the understanding. It's because they haven't been able to be humble yet. You know, or sometimes they're not truly operating in a true fear of the Most High. And again, that's unfortunate, you know, but I think for our part, just to kind of tackle your point, brother, can you go to Sirach chapter 10 and verse 1? Just to kind of tackle your part, while they're being tested, I do believe that we are being tested at the same time. So they may be being tested on the level of ABCs, like I said, and we're being tested on the level of geometry. You know, we know better, essentially, you know, or at least we ought to know better. So the battle is never really just between us and them. How you brothers doing? Y'all believe in God, brothers? Can I give you a Bible verse before you go then, brother? Just one? Just one, brother. Let's get Sirach 32 and 24 for him. The Most High said that if we truly believe on him, this is what we'll do. We're going to give you that.
Sirach chapter 32 and verse 24. Now, he that believeth in the Lord taketh heed to the commandments.
Say that again, brother.
He that believeth in the Lord taketh heed to the commandments.
It says that if you truly believe in the Most High, you're going to take heed to his commandments. I often bring that out because I want people to just sit with what they're saying out of their own mouth. You really believe that there's a God? Like, just kind of sit with that. And Most High willing, that's what you brothers can do. Because it seems to me that if you truly believe that there was a Most High God, you would try to be obedient to his commandments. Does that make sense? Because we fear the Most High God, we have faith in him. Even if we say we love him, it should still be important that we seek him out in those things that are pleasing in his sight. Does that make sense? All right, that's all I have for you, brothers, man, unless you had any questions at all. All right, y'all have a good night then, brother. All right, Khan. Was you holding something still, brother, or no? Oh, Khan, yeah, let's get that, brother.
Ecclesiastes chapter 10 and verse 1.
Straight up.
A wise judge will instruct his people, and the government of a prudent man is well ordered. As the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers.
What does that mean to brothers? Matter of fact, keep going, brothers, a little bit more.
And what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein.
And what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all that dwell therein. You know, what do brothers get from that?
Basically, like your own household. Everybody is a reflection of your rulership.
Perfect. Can't say it. I was saying that because we know that there's a lot of talks going on in Israel about who is who and who's doing what. And, you know, I just have to be candid with this. Hey, how you doing, brother? I'm doing well. Do you believe in God, brother, and have a minute for a Bible verse? All right, brother. All right, brother. Have a good one. But again, you know, I know this kind of goes into a bit of a, not really a tangent, because, brother, can you say the explanation of those verses again? I know we kind of got a little distracted.
Basically, like in your own household, your family should reflect, it's going to reflect your rulership in your household.
Right. I think sometimes we overlook that quality where we see things going on, whether in our community, in our house, you know, in our church, in our nation. You know, it can get bigger, but sometimes we don't reflect on the ways that we are. Yahawah said that you can know somebody by their fruits, and that a good tree is going to bear good fruit. You know, sometimes you see things going on, whether it's in your house or whether it's in the nation or whether it's in the world. And while we want to point out these things that we see, sometimes we don't look upon ourselves as rulers. You know, the Most High has ordained us to be rulers in a sense, or at least judges, or at least kings over our people. So if you look out amongst your subjects and you see pride, that means pride was sown. In order for pride to be reaped, it had to first have been sown. So it seems like sometimes it's easy to point the finger and be like, brothers are acting like this and brothers are acting like that. But a wise man would first point at himself and be like, what did I have to play in the way the nation is moving, in the way my house is moving, or in the way the world is moving? Because honestly, you got a better chance of changing yourself than changing everybody else. You know, and if you are going to change everybody else, the same recipe still applies. You first start with changing yourself. Then maybe you can go out and change others. So sometimes, you know, we see certain things going on, whether it's in our house or in our world or in our nation. It's always wise to look at what was planted. If you look upon your garden and you see a bunch of pride seeds or pride fruit, that means pride seeds were sown. If you see a bunch of lack of the fear of the Lord seeds in the garden, that means that a bunch of lack of fear of the Lord seeds were planted. And sometimes we need to be taking root of that. You know, us brothers say that all the time, and you know, sometimes we'll see that humility is something that brothers wear like a coat. You think you can put it on during this moment, and then you take it off during this moment. But even if it's not about you, let's say that you can do that. Guess what you're planting though? You're planting seeds of pride. So it shouldn't surprise you when you look out and see that a brother is prideful in something. Now maybe you meant pride like this, and you thought that he would mean pride like this, but you still sowed seeds of pride. You still sowed seeds of contention. Like a lot of times we talk about all the contention, for example, that's in Israel, the bickering, the fighting. But if you sowed that, if you planted that, Salakia, if you planted that seed, it shouldn't be surprising that that's also the seed that you end up reaping. So, you know, a lot of these things that's operating on that higher level, we have to pass those tests too. Yes, there's tests that we're given to the unlearned sheep. Like I said, the ABCs of this truth. But there's also higher levels of learning going on in this truth too that we have to pass. And just like we expect them to pass their ABC test, we have to be able to pass our geometry test. And it seems to be more ineffective to always have a finger pointing mentality, and the finger is never really pointed back at us. If I was one of the elders in this nation, I'm gonna just be honest, you know, because I've spoken with elders. And when you speak to them, a lot of times it's y'all brothers are this, and y'all brothers are that, and y'all brothers are this. And it's like, brother, most of the brothers got it from you. Like, I mean, I gotta be honest with you, brother. Like, and even by this conversation, I can tell that that's something that you're not seeing. Right. You know, you're on the phone and you're talking about all these things that you see in the nation and how everybody's going off. But a lot of times they got it from you. Maybe not the exact same thing, but again, chances are that seed of humility was planted before it was reaped. And that seed of not fearing the Most High was planted before it was reaped. That seed of contention was planted before it was reaped. So contention was planted, pride was planted. It shouldn't surprise anybody that these are the things that are also reaped. And again, humility, things like that, on a coat that you can put on and take off depending on who is around. If you're a humble brother, then that's just who you are. You're not fake. Like I say so often, you know, this ain't WWE. Most High willing brothers are not putting on a show for entertainment. How you brothers doing?
Doing pretty good. How about yourself?
Good, brother. Y'all have a good one, brother. What do you think about the sign? We know that's what gets most people attention, but why do you think we put this up here? And what we're trying to tell our sisters, do you think that's important to teach and important to know? Salvation doesn't have color. We're not teaching that, and this isn't an image of salvation. This is an image of the truth versus deception. Do you know what the Bible says Jesus Christ looks like? Have you ever read that? What did it say? It said it was a man that had skin the color of bronze as if it burned in a furnace. And he had hair like wool. So we're talking about a dark-haired, woolly-haired man. Who would read that and think to create this? That would be somebody who was trying to deceive you. When you go to Revelations 12 and 9, it says that that's what the devil is going to do on the earth. The devil deceives the whole world. So us brothers come out here that we may give people the truth versus letting them live on the lies. Does that make sense? But as you can see, some people get offended and they think that they're offended in us or even the image, but chances are they're offended in the truth, and that's unfortunate. Can we read one thing for them, brother? 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 10. You just said that it's not a salvation issue. Can I teach you that having a love for the truth is, though? Let's show you this verse.
2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 10.
Bring it out.
And with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth.
Because they receive not the love of the truth.
That they might be saved.
That they might be what?
Saved.
That they might be saved. These people are going to perish because they could not receive the love of the truth that they might be saved. So in a sense, it kind of is a salvation issue, because Jesus said that he was the way and the what? Do you know? Well, why do people not want the truth? You need to follow Jesus for the way, you need to follow him for the truth, and you also need to follow him for the life. So again, even if we say that we love Jesus, we should also love the truth. Does that make sense? Keep going with that, brother. Matter of fact, say that verse again.
And with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. And for this cause God shall send them strong delusion, that they should believe a lie, that they all might be damned who believe not the truth, but have pleasure in unrighteousness.
But have pleasure in unrighteousness. I have nothing against our sisters that walked away, but it's just sad to see our people not have a love for the truth. Again, how are you going to really know what brothers are trying to profess to you if you've already made up your mind that brothers are hateful because we're putting this image out here? This is actually a man named Caesar Borgia. This man doesn't have any divinity. There's no reason for us to feel offended by what this man looks like on this sign. He's just a man. It could be as if I put a picture of me up and people's like, oh, heck no. I'm just a man. This is just a man as well named Caesar Borgia. He was the son of the 6th Pope of Rome, Alexander the 6th of Rome. So this image is just a false image, and that's why his brothers put this out here so that people may know the truth, if that makes sense. Now, I have to say this. Once we know the truth, do you know what the Most High God requires of us? We just read that in order to be saved, we have to have a... Yep, I'm glad you remembered that. One thing is having a love for the truth. Can we get Psalms 119 and 142? Because you're right. Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. The truth is also just the truth. But let's hear what else is the truth that we also need to make sure that we're implementing in our life. See, I love people that have that understanding, because those sisters would understand if they just also had a love for the truth. Because if you come here and you see that us brothers are teaching lies, that's another thing. Step away from us very fast. But like you just said, ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. If the truth makes you free, what does lies do? It keeps you in bondage, right? It keeps you enslaved. So again, I want people to understand that this is not a small thing. Lies are a big thing. There's a saying in the world that a picture is worth 1,000 words. Have you ever heard that? There's a lot of deception that can come from an image. There's people who worship this image, and it makes them put down the true people of the Most High. Remember what we just also read about salvation, that we also have to have a love for the truth? And I'm only saying this because think about it. Who would benefit by telling you, yeah, don't worry about the images? You yourself just admitted that these images have went all around the world. So think about it. Somebody wants these images to go all around the world just to tell you, don't worry about that. Don't worry about it. It's all spiritual. Why didn't they believe that when they created this image? Essentially, if that was true, that it was just about the spirit, why has this image went all throughout the world? I hope you see what I'm saying. Like, this was an intentional thing. So. It's like I have to be honest, it's like what a crook would say. Don't look at this hand, look at this hand. So by telling people not to worry about this, you literally are able to hide a lie that has went throughout the entire world. When if we truly have a love for the truth. Oh, no. And if you notice, skin color, but I'll have that question back at you. Are you going to be saved if you don't have a love for the truth? What we read, the Bible verse we read. So you see, that's why we're not making a conversation about the skin color. We're making the conversation about wanting to have a love for the truth versus not having a love for the truth. So, and that's what we want to leave people with, that it's important to know the truth and actually desire that and want to live by that. Us brothers are not trying to say, as you can see, us brothers have many shades out here, from even our sons. Our son is lighter than all of y'all. We're not out here teaching skin doctrine. What we out here teaching is a love for the truth versus having a love for the lie. If you see an obvious lie, why not point it out? So to know what you know and to know that this image is not that. I'm not saying you are, but why is the world okay with being under an obvious lie? Because you just said that this image went throughout the entire world. What makes the world okay with that is because we're learning to love. Like Scripture just said that we won't be saved if we don't have a love for the truth. So that's really what we're trying to bring out to our people. I know it can look like skin. Like, yeah, this brother's saying his skin. I'm not trying to say my skin is better than your skin. What we are trying to say is that the truth is better than lies. And all of us should have a love for the truth. In Revelations 1:14, if you want to read where it describes Jesus, it says a man that has skins the color of bronze. You know what color that is, right? What color is it? It's a brown, right? Like a penny copper. It says as if it burned in a furnace and he had woolly hair. So somebody read that and thought to create this. All we're saying is that they intentionally deceived people when they did that. They didn't do that for no reason. A lot of times, and I'm going to just be honest, I have to be honest, the people who fit this description had the people who fit Jesus' description in bondage and in slavery. So it was beneficial for them to create images like this and not the true image as the Bible said. If we don't have a love for that truth, we're not going to really know that and understand that. So that's why it's very important that we have a love for the truth. As you said, ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. We want to make sure that people know the truth so they can be made free, if that makes sense. But one last thing about what the truth is.
Want to give me a fly?
Yeah, if you can. Psalms 119, 142.
Psalms chapter 119 and 142. Thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth.
And thy law is the truth. So we also want to teach our people that we have to keep God's commandments. Because another popular lie that has went out into the world is that we no longer have to keep God's commandments. Have you ever heard that? Being saved by grace. Right? I agree with you. Does being saved by grace mean that we now have a license to sin? So we do still have to keep God's commandments, right? But do most people teach us that, or do most people just teach us to rely on grace? Are you going to keep the Sabbath day? That's in the 10. That's one of the 10 commandments. That's why I asked that one. And I'm not trying to punch you out, but just to say that a lot of our teachings actually don't bring us to keeping the commandments of God. Us brothers actually teach that we are to keep all the commandments of God. The verses that you mentioned is Matthew 22 and verse 36, where he tells the 2 greatest commandments. Can we get that account, brother? Matthew 22 and 36. I don't want to butcher it. I want you to see the understanding, because Jesus was not teaching that there's only 2 commandments now. He said on these 2 commandments hang all of the commandments. So you're kind of right. It's not just giving you 2 commandments. It's telling you that if you do these 2, you'll end up fulfilling all of the other commandments. Because somebody didn't ask him what are the only commandments. They asked him what are the greatest of the commandments. Let's see that. Matthew 22 and 36.
Matthew chapter 22 and verse 36.
Bring it out.
Master, which is the great commandment in the law?
Which is the great commandment, not the only.
Jesus said unto him, Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind. This is the first and great commandment. And the second is like unto it, Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. On these 2 commandments hang all the law and the prophets.
No, brother, on these 2 commandments gets rid of all the law and the prophets.
Hang all the law and the prophets.
Jesus said on those 2 commandments hangs all the law and the prophets. Not that it does away with the law and the prophets, because Jesus also said this, Matthew chapter 5 and verse 17. This is real quick. I just want you to understand something. This one may be even more clear about what Jesus told us and about how to keep the commandments.
Matthew chapter 5 and verse 17. Think not that I come to destroy the law.
These are red letters. This is Jesus speaking, saying, think not that I've come to destroy the law.
Or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill. For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law, till all be fulfilled.
He said one jot or one tittle. That's like a period and a comma. He's basically saying not even the smallest part shall pass from the law till all be fulfilled. Keep going though, brother. He gives even more understanding.
Whosoever therefore shall break one of the least commandments.
Hold up. Now, is Jesus contradicting himself? Because remember, the question was, what are the great commandments in the law? And Jesus said, love the Most High God and love your brother. But us brothers are trying to teach that he didn't mean that all the law was done away with. He was just telling you the 2 greatest of the commandments. Because listen to what he says about the least commandments, which are not those greatest. Say that again from the top, brother.
Whatsoever therefore shall break one of the least commandments.
Whosoever shall break one of the least commandments.
And shall teach men so.
And even worse, you teach people to do the same.
He shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven.
This is all Matthew chapter 5, Jesus' words. So I always bring this out to make it plain to people. Are the gates to the kingdom of heaven narrow or are they wide? And are few people going to make it or are many going to make it? Do you understand why so few are going to be able to actually do what God wants them to do? Because the world is teaching us essentially to obey Satan, like the Bible teaches us. It seems like you're familiar with the Bible, and you know that Satan was said that he was going to deceive the whole world. This is one of the deceptions. One of the deceptions is that we no longer have to keep God's commandments and do his will. So we're supposed to believe that all throughout the Bible, people were punished for breaking God's law, and that Jesus came so now we don't have to do it anymore. The way I say it is, imagine my brother taking a charge for me, like I'm on court for committing murder, and my brother comes and takes the penalty for me committing murder. He didn't do that so I can keep murdering. He did that so that I may be forgiven and stop murdering. If you remember the tale of adultery, when the woman was about to be stoned, are you familiar with that account? The woman was about to be stoned because she was in the midst of adultery. He did tell them that whoever is without sin, let them cast the first stone, and then all of her accusers went away. But when he was there with that woman alone, he told her, go and sin no more. So the idea wasn't for her to continuously rely on grace and just say, well, I got grace, I can do what I want. No, you have grace, so you've been forgiven for things that, honestly, there was a time where you'd be stoned to death for them. Jesus came that you may be forgiven for these things, not that you may have a license to continue to do them. Does that make sense? That's what the Christian churches don't really teach us. They don't teach us the truth of the Bible. And unfortunately, they also, most importantly, they don't teach us what God truly wants from us. God wants us to fear him, have faith in him, and keep his commandments. This is the last chapter and verse in the Bible, Revelations 22 and 14. And if I can, I'll let you guys go on this one. This is the last chapter and book in the Bible. There's no more chapters after this. Let's hear what's professed in Revelation.
Revelations chapter 22 and verse 14.
Bring it out.
Blessed are they that do his commandments,
Blessed are they that do his commandments,
that they may have the right to the tree of life,
they're going to have right to the tree of life.
and may enter into the gates into the city.
They are going to enter in through the gates of the city. Let's see who's not.
For without are dogs, and sorcerers, and whoremongers, and murderers, and idolaters.
I have to stop. Notice these aren't 10 commandments. These are going into so many of the other commandments that aren't found in the 10. But Jesus is telling you the people who aren't going to get in. Keep going, brother.
And whosoever loveth and maketh alive.
Oh, brother, we got to say that again. Because remember, you asked us who is going to be saved, and we told you we have to have a love for the truth. These people that are going to be cast into hell are those who, say that line again, brother.
And whosoever loveth
If you love
and maketh alive.
and make a lie. So we aren't able to love or make lies. I wish people could see that we don't wake up every day to come out here because we hate people. Actually, the opposite. We come out here every day because we love people. I mean, we could be at the nightclub like anybody else, but instead we want to come out here and give people the truth of the Bible that they never truly receive in church. When you go into the Bible, the prophets taught on the highways and the hedges. There's no collections plate up here. We're not asking for your money. We don't want to be famous. We really want to give our people the truth of what the Bible actually says. One of the things that Jesus just said that people weren't going to do was love and make a lie. So we teach that we ought not to love or make lies, and that's one of the reasons why we put this up here. We know it gets people's attention. We know it's a shocker, but it's really just trying to knock down some of these lies and exalt the truth, if that makes sense. Did y'all have any questions about anything? Did we get them a flyer, bro?
Yeah, I gave a flyer.
Okay.
Do y'all see yourself on this side? You see yourself on the side? He took pictures of people. Just some people are on here.
What did it say? Okay. Well, check out the YouTube channel, scan the QR code. We put out a lot of YouTube videos going into this stuff. Hey, the Most High doesn't cause us to meet people by accident. Maybe this was a sign for you to continue to read the Bible and grow and increase. So just check it out and see what we're going into. Y'all have a good night.
Hey. I said we took pictures of people so they can take pictures of me. I did not lie. These are pictures of people.
And that's what the Most High, I was just saying the Most High, man. Most High sent us some sheep, man, who want to listen. So we say, here you go, man. Take this, John. Thank you, bro. But no, Most High, again, Most High willing to see his plan. It's kind of like what you were saying. They bit off as much as they can chew, it seems. You know, Most High willing, they chew on that a little bit, and then they able to clear their mouth out and get another bite at another time. Most High willing.
Ask Yahawah, he hear what I pray. Cause I know I could die any day. Please Yahawah, just show me the way. Tryna walk down the path that you laid. Tired of sinning.